Hi, my name is Rashad Fred. I'm the co-writer and director of the feature film. Ricky?
My name is Stephon James. I guess I'm the star, Ricky. Is that it?
I think you're a star.
I think so
yeah,
too.
I guess
yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah. So I wanted to know just where Ricky came from initially, and then how you got involved.
Yeah, so Ricky initially started as a thesis film for when I was at NYU, and it took some time to make the short due to the pandemic. And in that process, after we made that, it kind of snowballed into this bigger feature film. It pretty much, a lot of my friends and family members that I knew that went through the criminal justice system had, a really, really hard time trying to reintegrate back into society. And, the story was kind of started from that. And, yeah.
Stephon, how did you get involved?
Well, I saw the short that that Rashad's talking about. I saw the short. I read the script for the feature-length version of it. Right away, I could tell that this was a special filmmaker. A guy that really cared about what he was doing and had something to say, which I thought was really important. For me, I think after our first initial conversations, it became very clear to me that I understood what he was trying to do, and I thought that I could walk with him in the journey, and just grateful that he decided to cast me.
Of course.
My God.
Well, can you talk a little bit? I'm always fascinated by filmmakers that do kind of adapt their own short into a feature, and I was wondering if you could speak to that process a little bit.
You want the long or short version?
Give it to us all. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So the short, how it came together, it was just phenomenal. We were supposed to initially film the short in 2020, but like I said, due to the pandemic, we had to wait a year and a half. And in the process of waiting a year and a half, a lot of people came on to the project. Kiri Fukunaga came on. Spike Lee came on to fund the short.
No big deal. Yeah.
No,
Just those guys.
Yeah, just
little guys.
yeah, definitely. And then once we finished the film, I got signed with William Morris. Amazing agency, and they introduced me to Michelle Satter and the Sundance Institute, and it was just like when I met Michelle that first day, it felt like I'd known her forever, and she invited me and my co-writer Lin Q to apply for the labs, and we applied and we got in, and it really, really, really helped to bring the script for the feature to the next level. And during that process, we brought on investors and who, saw the short as well and believed in the story, and, things kind of evolved from there.
The Institute is such a big part of Sundance. Do you want to speak to what that was like?
Yeah, the Institute, I went through the writer's lab, director's lab. My producer went through the producer's lab, and they just been, extremely, supportive. The advisement that we got, the advisors, the legendary advisors who I'd see on TV and be starstruck, and like I'm sitting across from them having lunch talking about the script. I really, was truly honored to get that kind of, support in putting this film together. And, it really, really gave the script, really pumped life into it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Stephon, what kind of research did you do? Was this an intensive process? Was it more emotional? Tell me about your process.
Yeah, I mean, I think so much of what informed this character was the early conversations that I had with Rashad. What was important about trying to get out to the world through Ricky. And so, it became about, coloring this individual, giving him a level of humanity, when so often we hear these stories and they come across as just like a headline or like a mugshot. We never get to see, how did this young person get in this situation? Did the punishment fit the crime? How are we helping, guide them back into civilian life? All those questions about mental health and taking care of, people who have been formerly incarcerated. And so, for us, I think that it was really, really important, again, to just be a voice through Ricky to so many people who don't have this voice. Yeah. And I would say one of my biggest inspirations in sort of developing the character, it was the story of Khalif Browder. And, the young man who got locked up in New York, accused of stealing shoes, and ends up doing 2 years in solitary confinement. You can only imagine the stress, that was inside the prison at that point in time for him. But then coming out, just dealing with that PTSD of just like, I spent 2 years in like a box, and now I'm having to come out and be the same person that I was before I went in, to my family, to my friends. They're not even the same. Everyone's affected by what's happening to me. And so I think that, together we felt like we wanted to give Ricky a voice. We wanted to give him agency from that standpoint.
What would that, I mean, what was that like for you, sort of emotionally and physically? You hear about actors who come out of roles like this and they're totally transformed or have a new outlook or whatever. But I was wondering what that kind of toll was like for you.
I mean, it definitely takes its toll, no question. Being a lead in a film is its own beast. You know what I mean? And so, much less having to be Ricky. Emotionally, there's a weight that you take home every single day. But I would say it's a testament to like the bond that we built on set between Rashad, between Lin Q, the rest of the producers, the crew. Just understanding the North Star of what we're trying to accomplish, and everybody just working to support that mission was honestly a really incredible feat to witness.
Rashad, what did you see in Stefan that made you say this is the dude?
Yeah, so like when we first spoke and we vibed, we just took away everything from filmmaking, just on a personal level, just to, and we immediately bonded, and we have similar backgrounds as far as like, Caribbean background. So, based off of that, and then we know people that both went through the criminal justice system. So, like, with all of that tied in together, that's kind of like how I knew, like, immediately that, Stefan was, the one.
He was your guy.
For sure.
The setting of, even putting the prison in New Haven or Hartford, right? Where was it?
That was outside of Hartford.
Outside of Hartford, right?
Close to
but
Hartford.
Connecticut, everybody thinks of Martha Stewart and
Yeah, I got
Westport
that.
and stuff.
Got that
Like
mostly.
it was a very
Yeah.
interesting choice to set it there, and I was wondering where that came from. Was it just something that you would?
Well, I mean, even when I was in the military,
Yeah.
many moons ago. I'm not gonna say when, but
Okay.
they would say the same thing. I say, I'm from Connecticut. They'd be like, oh, it's not that many black people up there. I'm like,
Where were you from in Connecticut?
Hartford.
Oh, okay,
Hartford area.
I lived in Fairfield for a long time.
Nice.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like, it was like, I grew up in a Caribbean community.
Yeah.
In Hartford, Connecticut, and at one time it was the third largest Caribbean population in the United States. New York was number one, Florida number two, then Hartford area was number three, specifically for back in the day. Picking tobaccos was a big thing back then. That my people came from the islands and settled there, and just seeing that, I wanted to put that on screen because it's like, this is how it is up here. It's not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, talk about, you going through the Sundance lab and now you're here at Sundance. I was wondering, both of you could speak about what that kind of means to you. It seems like a full circle moment.
Yeah, totally. I'm truly honored. Like, I mean, I wear the Sundance badge on my back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm truly honored. They've been just extremely supportive. Just always had positive notes, positive, just things to really propel the project, and really believed in the story that we're trying to tell. And I'm just, honored to have the Sundance Institute and to be here talking to you at Sundance in the snow. It's snowing outside, and I like cold, so I'm
Back
feeling
in Hartford,
really good.
baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there it is. Could wear sweaters.
Yeah.
My winter attire is better than my summer. So.
Stefan, what does it mean for you?
I mean, look, I think certainly Rashad has a different, more intimate relationship with this festival, but I will say just being here has been phenomenal. Just like, you really feel that these are people who genuinely love films, real moviegoers, real, people who care about stories. That's what this festival seems to be about to me. And indie filmmaking at its heart is really about the story and about the characters. So I'm definitely feeling that being out here.
They're telling me to wrap, but I got to ask Rashad, what was the best Spike Lee note you got on anything?
Oh, I could tell you, no problem.
Okay, tell me.
He's like, yo, don't listen to anybody and stick to your vision. Don't even listen to me. Seriously, he says, and it's like, I took that and I ran with it.
Yeah.
I fight for the vision.
Yeah.
And people could attest to that.
Okay.
So,
I love that. Well, guys, thank you both so much for coming in.
Thank you,
all right,
guys.
thank you so much. Appreciate it.